All right, good morning, welcome back. So today we're talking about what you can do with a struggling student. What can you do? What are your options? And I mean either severely struggling or just kind of struggling. I got a couple different options for you. So first, let's get to products of the day. This is a game. Let me show you this game. So it's a solo game. I love solo games because we can play them as a team. So I went through a little phase here and I got a ton of them. So how do we get this car out here? So it comes with different cards in here. Let's see, how do we get this car? Well, we move it like that and then boom, that car drives out. So you see, I'm giving you a very simple option, but this is how this game is played. Have you ever, I know you've seen Hot Dots like for years now. Hot Dots has been around. And so this came in a package I bought. So I didn't even know that it was coming until I got it. And what it is it's not as hands-off as I thought, but it's pre-K up. So if you need a different way to teach someone and some different practice, a novel way that might interest them, if that's what you're going for, because I know we all go through those phases. So we're talking phonics. So pre-K and up, first we start with, okay, choose the one that begins with A. All right, so it starts at the very beginning, and when you press this guy on the right answer, his eyes go green, and when he's on the wrong answer, his eyes go red. It's a little more parent intensive than I thought when I pictured Hot Dots. And it goes through words, it goes through pictures. I mean, it's got a lot of different questions, but at the same time, you gotta be there to be like, cat has the short sound of A. Find each picture with the short sound of A. So it's just not as hands-off as I would like, I guess, as far as, and I don't know how interesting it is. Like, I haven't tried it. I don't know how interesting it would be for a child to do that as opposed to just point with their finger. I don't know. So I'm kind of curious as to the point of that when they started it, since you do need to be there. I thought like initially when I had heard of Hot Dots, I thought like you did it independently. No, that's not exactly what it is. So I got a couple different things here to show you. This is a book I created, and what it is, I've showed you before on different videos. It is, if you look closely, you will see tracing the numbers. So sometimes kids need help, struggling learners need help to practice skills for the math, for handwriting, for different things, and they don't want to do it in a baby book. So this is not a baby book. If you look at the preschool books, if you look at the kindergarten books, they're baby books. So for $5, you can print off all these pages. There's like 78 pages. It comes with, a bunch of mazes in there. It's got number identification and things like that. You're learning 10 frames as well. Let me see if I can find the 10 frames in here. Well, anyway, it does have 10 frames in here as well. So you're learning a bunch of different math skills, but easy ones, maybe just to boost confidence, right? Next up, we got safety units. So it is by the Good and the Beautiful. So they do specialize in family style units. So that's why it says grades 3 to 8. I would say grade 1 is probably the ideal grade for this, maybe grade 2. So it talks about natural disaster safety. It talks about water safety. It talks about fire safety, of course. It's got definitions. It's got games, but essentially it doesn't take long to go through it. It's got safe or not safe. So it's got different options as to what's safe and what's not safe. So I like that. A practical reassurance of these skills, like, don't put things that are electric in water and things like that. Okay, so let's talk curriculum options. First of all, if you have a kid with autism or whatever issue you are dealing with, I would say study units are your friend. I would say school year-round so that they can get into the rhythm of it, but not intensively. So focus on your math and focus on your reading. Those are the two big things to really narrow down and focus on. And every day, so for a while there, we did every day do a page of math. We used Math Mammoth at that time, and every day you did a page of math. And so you would get a lot of pages done, and it wouldn't be overwhelming because you only had to do one page that day. And if you went year-round, again, you're talking 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of your time. And if they can't handwrite, just have them put the dots in a place, use a marker, and use dots if they can't do the numbers. So another option you have, of course, is All About Reading. All About Reading is really good, and we did use that for a long time, but it is very dry. I had planned to use it with my other children who don't need a specialized or a curriculum like that, who can do an all-in-one language arts program. But let me show you into kind of an unboxing, if you will, of this curriculum right here. This curriculum is called the Right Brain phonics. So it's basically any child who has a difficulty, they have a math program, a writing program, a reading program, and you can take a look in here, and because of course I got all of them. Now it is a little intensive, so because every day you're doing 20 minutes of exercises, then you're 4 days a week, then you're reviewing these cards. So these cards are like, that's why I really am a fan of, it really worked with my one child where if it has a picture with it, you can learn sight words so much faster, but any child, even my other child, my littlest one, learns sight words so fast. So look, okay, so it's got the sounds you're working on. E for egg, okay? I for igloo. So it's got the sounds you're working on with a picture. And then also it's got the sight words. Let me show you the sight words here. So the sight words are like this, is. See, the picture is not behind it, it's superimposed into it to really help connect the right and left brain. And then on the back, and this is what I love, is the sentence it has for it. And the red is always the sound. Like when you're going through this program, you'll notice. Let me show you the number flashcards. So if your child, and there's a little story on the back of each. So if your child has trouble with numbers, these are some things to help with the number program. So now we don't need help with the memory. And also keep in mind too that if your child, if he's not able to make the sounds, that doesn't mean he can't learn to read. They don't know how kids do it, but even kids who have apraxia are not able to make the exact sounds that they're supposed to make, still learn to read, and they haven't done any studies, so they don't know why this happens, but that it does happen. So don't be alarmed if like, hey, well, my child can't speak, but in his head, he knows what sounds that's supposed to make, even if it's not coming out like that. Okay, so it comes with a lot of DVDs for you to watch, for the parent, depending on what you order. So there's identifying your child problems if you order that, which I did. So this brain integration therapy, these exercises are also what's utilized to try and get the right and the left brain. There is a big thing down here where you are circle, 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 circle. Okay, just these exercises are what we're trying to use to connect the right and the left brain together. Okay, so it comes with your study guide, but let me show you inside. So these are some of the exercises that you do. See all the different problems that this should assist with. And basically, if you don't know why, sometimes you don't know why your child is the way they are. Like you don't know, is this normal? You don't know, and that's scary and it sucks, and I've been there, but just keep going. Just keep going and try different things. This program itself, if you bought everything, which I did, is $500. But it's not if you just buy these separate things. So let's take a look at, I've showed you these sight words. Let's take a look at this book. And what's cool is it has these transparencies. The transparency is pretty cheap, but they're just transparencies, which for some reason, when kids use them to read, it makes it easier to read. Yeah, I don't know why either. I don't know. I do not get it. But let's take a look at, okay. So there you go. This would be page 1. It's kind of a review of what's going on. And then this is page 2, which is your story, and they can use it with the transparency. So you know I'm a huge fan of the simpleness of these are the words and these are the story. Like just these are the words just to help give confidence. So that, yeah, you can do this. And yes, you are learning how to read. So inside here, it has your lesson plans in here. This is the Right Brain Phonics. It has your lesson plans of what you're supposed to do every day, 4 days a week. You're supposed to do the exercises for anywhere from 6 to 15 minutes. Then you're supposed to do, of course, the flashcards and the sight word flashcards. Not all of them. You don't have to do them all at the same time. And then here is the word sheet that you're gonna go over. Okay, so, and it's got just a ton of them. That's, if I could show you what's in here. A ton of them with the sounds. Okay, so that's kind of your program. There's also multiplication tables in here because again, I ordered the entire program. So there are a few different options, but remember, focus on what matters, the reading and the math, and then help them find a passion. If I could give you anything, it would be help them find their passion. Your child can be successful. Your child can have a good life. I have no doubt. With everything they have out there today, no doubt your child can succeed. Now, I do think diet is huge. I have known because I accidentally did an experiment, like I didn't mean to, and we got off it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? Like what is happening? And so I'll attach that video at the end. You can take a look at it if you want more advice. One last piece of advice I would give you would be if your child doesn't want to do anything, first of all, your relationship is what's most important, okay? Your relationship with him is what's most important, honesty and things like that. Second of all, if they come to you and they're like, because I have the child with ODD, right? So I don't want to do that. No, I'm not doing that. Okay, there's no arguing, you just stack it on the table or you don't even say, okay, just stack it on the table and just wait, and then, well, what are you gonna do right now, or whatever. Then move on. And then the second he asks you for something, because he will, because you're his mom, whether he asks you to watch TV, whether he asks you for a glass of water, whether he asks you, whatever he asks you for, absolutely, I would love to get that for you. And as soon as you pick up your clothes, or as soon as you get that knocked out, as soon as you get that done, absolutely. And if they throw a fit, say, I can do it with you. But remember, some children throwing a fit, don't punish them for that. That's just like, they have to go through that. Do you know what I mean? That's just part of their personality. I wouldn't punish them for it. It's okay to express yourself. You just can't hurt other people. And if they started to, I would just leave the room. That's what I do now, is if that were to happen, I would just leave the room. So there you go. That's some advice I have and some ideas I have. And I hope that helps you with your struggling student. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And you say, please like and subscribe.
Please like you right.
And hit the bell for notifications.
Hit bell, you know, notification.